I'm going to start by thanking everyone for making the time today to join us. ReeXploration has evolved meaningfully over the past couple of weeks and the months leading into the recent name change. And today is about showing you and talking through exactly why that evolvement has happened. We are positioning ourselves as a dual commodity focused platform in one of the world's best jurisdictions for both rare earth and uranium. And this is a bit of a structured walkthrough of our story. And then at the end, I'll take some questions and answer some of them. But let me start with who we are and how we're looking to create value. Just some forward-looking statements. I am going to be making some forward-looking statements, and I would ask that everyone takes the time to read through the forward-looking statements and all the disclosure that we have on our website and all the technical disclaimers that we have there. So ReeXploration is a discovery-driven critical minerals company anchored in Namibia. And our job is simple and straightforward: to technically advance credible projects to a point where value creation is its highest. We're currently operating in commodities that the world urgently needs, not only to secure supply of, but also have supply of. And the rare earths and uranium, both markets are structurally tight at the moment, and both sit at the heart of the Western economy trying to reassure themselves and strategically position themselves from energy to security strategies. And that brings us to how we think about creating value. Our model is extremely disciplined and focused. We create value where the curve is the steepest in discovery, and we avoid capital-intensive building phases and all of that. And now that we're a dual commodity platform with a high priority uranium target anchored by a technically proven rare earth deposit, this is a discovery first option value business. And this new uranium target materially increases the option value. And we can only execute this because of the strength of our team. We are a Namibian-rooted technical team that is backed by international expertise in rare earths, uranium, and capital markets. And I would argue to say that our on-the-ground capacity is our real competitive advantage. This is not a fly-in, fly-out operation. Our field team has been operating at Eureka since 2016. And this consistency matters when you're trying to move fast and expand the exploration on both our rare earths and our uranium. And that's anchored where we are based and where the jurisdiction we are operating in. Namibia is Africa's most stable mining jurisdiction and most friendly mining jurisdiction. It has transparent regulations, strong rule of law, full infrastructure, and the country has a very long history with uranium and diamond mining, and it's fully aligned within Western ESG standards and the supply chain standards. When you're building a critical minerals platform and company and project like ourselves, jurisdiction and the quality of the jurisdiction is half the battle. And Namibia has given us that strategic advantage. Within Namibia, the Eureka Project is exceptionally well positioned. It sits 2 kilometers away from the Trans-Kalahari Highway. It has access to rail networks. It has access to power networks. And it has access to one of the world's most efficient deep water operating ports. The Eureka Project already has a 43-101 resource on it. Maiden resource inferred of 310,000 tons at 4.8% TREO, with 0.7% of that being NdPr. So half of our basket value is coming from NdPr, which is a key magnet metal. This is a monazite-hosted, low impurity, low radioactivity rare earth deposit, which is exactly what Western processing and Western processors are looking for. And that was driven by our metallurgy first approach, which was definitely a right decision. We've proved a clean 60% TREO concentrate that is amenable to Western standards and what Western processors are looking for long before we had scale. But importantly, the Rare Earth Foundation has allowed us to position ourselves perfectly now to layer in something with much larger potential. I think we all know from a geopolitical standpoint, critical minerals are now an international priority. China dominates both the rare earth and the uranium value chains, and the Western governments are accelerating the push for Western aligned alternatives. Namibia is starting to become a trusted supplier in this shift, and that's why our known rare earth deposit and our new uranium opportunity at Eureka is so impactful. And I think that's one thing that we've been able to hone in is our focus on the rare earth and the foundation that we've built there, and then why this uranium allows us to build value and can also become a focus for the company. So in a lot of my discussions with shareholders and stakeholders, we often get asked how we reduced the risk on rare earth projects so early. And this slide tells the story extremely well. We've got bench testing that's confirmed over 97% monazite purity, roughly 60% TREO grade, with a low radioactivity. It's a clean, simple, and scalable product that we can produce from our deposit. And this early technical credibility is what has allowed us to expand so aggressively in our exploration and has now led to a dual commodity strategy that doesn't distract or compromise from the REE value. We have a large rare earth system that still has meaningful growth potential, and we're just starting to get into it. What you see here is our exploration and growth potential on the rare earth side. We have a 13 by 6 kilometer dome with multiple mineralized zones. The soil geochemical, the trenching, and the geophysics all show room for expansion. We've completed 4 drilling phases so far in the previous years, and mineralization remains open. This exploration, this rare earth exploration is still a growth story, and the system is far from closed off. But now I think we're moving on to the central reason the story has gained so much attention recently, and that is the uranium and our dual commodity focus. I think it would be a good place to start to put Namibia in context in the world for its uranium. Namibia is the world's 3rd largest uranium producer and already home to major operations like Rossing, Husab, and Langer Heinrich, and other major developments such as Etango. Utilities buy from Namibia, and countries buy from Namibia because it's reliable, transparent, geopolitically stable, and it makes it one of the best places in the world for new uranium discoveries. And that's exactly where Eureka sits right now, in the middle of this Alaskite alley. What we have on the page here, we call it the land of the giants. Namibia is the home of the brave. And you can see on this white marker here, that is our license boundary there. And these are all globally significant uranium deposits that are either in production or are under development or have recently been discovered. So we fall in this Alaskite alley, and we're right in the middle of that. Through our exploration work, we identified a large-scale uranium target immediately southwest of the Eureka Dome, and that Eureka Dome is very important. The airborne radiometrics outlined a 6.5 by 3.5 kilometer uranium high, which is also augmented with the thorium low. And that's exactly what you want to see in this part of Namibia when you're exploring for uranium. On the ground, we've confirmed uranium at surface with scintillometer readings going up to 1,500 CPS, and our portable XOF values in the weathered Luca granites up to 850 plus ppm uranium. Again, it's important to highlight that this sits on the same structural corridor, the Alaskite Alley, that hosts Rossing, Husab, Etango, Omaolo, and Narasa. Together, those projects contain more than 1 billion pounds of uranium. So this isn't a small add-on. This is a legitimate new discovery opportunity, and the geological match to other known major deposits is extremely compelling. Again, the address is everything: location, location, location. And we highlight the importance of the dome. As I pointed out, the Eureka Dome. Namibia's uranium systems, or these Rossing-style deposits, form around basement domes, older domal structures with fractal margins on it. And those fractures create the pathway for uranium-bearing leucogranite fluids to intrude. And when those granites interact with the reactive calc-silicate rocks, the uranium then precipitates out. And the Eureka Dome shows the same geological setting and architecture as the Rossing and Etango Dome. The same rock units, the same structural setting, and it gets even more convincing when you look at it on a regional trend. The Alaskite Alley is one of the most productive uranium corridors anywhere in the world, and Eureka sits directly in trend with Rossing, Husab, Etango, Omaroro, and Narasa. And our anomalies line up cleanly along the Welwitschia lineament, one of the major controls on the uranium emplacement in this belt. So we're in the right neighborhood, we have the right rocks, we have the right geometry, and the rocks on the ground and the radiometrics are starting to tell us this all. This slide for me is always very exciting to show to our shareholders, as it highlights our target compared to globally significant uranium mines or development projects. Our uranium target hits every major criteria you see in all Namibia's biggest uranium systems. We have a basement dome that is situated along the Welwitschia lineament. We have reactive calc-silicates, and we have uranium-bearing leucogranites. That level of alignment is extremely rare for a brand new exploration target. And our field work confirms exactly what the model is predicting. We found a lot of uranium and calcrete, and in the gypcrete horizon, up to 1,500 counts per second. We've also found uranium in weathered leucogranites, including secondary carnotite, and what is also encouraging is the irradiated smoky quartz, which is a major hallmark of a uranium system. These are the fingerprints of a Rossing-style system. And everything we are seeing, from the airborne data to the rock units to the mineralization to the infield observation, supports a legitimate discovery opportunity here. And importantly, we're building on this opportunity in a responsible manner. Here again, you can see a lot of the grab samples and rocks that we've seen in the field. You can see that we're finding uranium and weathered leucogranites. We're finding secondary carnotites. You're seeing the smoky quartz, and that strong indication that we have a Rossing-style system is there. So very, very encouraging that what we're seeing from a desktop study going into the field and confirming it with boots on the ground, with our strong advantage by having a team here that can mobilize quickly, shows that this is a legitimate target and discovery opportunity. Our projects, our rare earths, and our uranium, we operate in a responsible manner. And we began this by saying our team is rooted in Namibia and proudly Namibian. Our rare earths are hosted in a low impurity monazite, which simplifies environmental pathways. We already have a ECC, environmental clearance, in place, and we work closely with our local leadership and stakeholders through active community engagements. And our sustainability committee keeps us aligned with Namibia's development goals. So I think I'm going to try and bring this all together and do the always important why you should invest. And I definitely think you should. ReExploration offers strategic exposure right at the center of the global push to diversify critical minerals. We already have a de-risked rare earth foundation with metallurgy completed, which is a major differentiator. On top of that, we now have a emerging drill-ready uranium target in one of the world's greatest uranium corridors. Namibia gives us a jurisdictional advantage. It's one of the safest, most supportive mining jurisdictions globally. And our approach is built on strong ESG fundamentals, and we follow a disciplined value model where we aim to transact or partner before heavy capex comes in. So we're maximizing per share value. In short, ReExploration offers exposure to two structurally critical minerals, REE and uranium, in the right rocks, in the right jurisdictions, in the right jurisdiction, at the right time, in a fantastic market cycle. Here, just sharing the capital structure for those who follow the market side and the story more closely. And I'll stop there and take your questions. So we have one question here regarding the analog of our uranium target. So the exploration model that we've put together, that we have for the uranium, is called a Rossing uranium deposit. You can see there. The Rossing uranium mine is in the top 5 of the world's producing mine. And it's what this exploration model has been built on. And these are the 4 main criterias which you require in order to start exploring for uranium. So the target hits every major criteria for a big uranium system. basement dome located next to the Wawucha lineament, reactive kalk silicates, and uranium-bearing leucogranites. And we have proven all of those through our desktop studies of the airborne radiometric survey and our in-field boots in the ground survey with the spectrometer. So I've got a question here. How much money does the company have on hand for operations and exploration expenditure? Currently, the company is sitting with roughly 400,000 Canadian dollars on hand. And we've got a low burn rate because of our Namibian-based exploration team. And that money is focused towards further de-risking the rare earths, as well as starting to prepare for a drill program on the uranium. The uranium is drill ready, and the rare earths needs further work to highlight that it is a lot larger system. A question here is, what are the next steps and plans for the company? So the company is in the process of busy planning a ground truthing exercise, further validating the uranium opportunity that's actually currently in the process and should be completed shortly. We are also continuing with our surface geochemical sampling on the rare earths, and we'll have the entire dome completed before the end of the year. We are also completing a magnetic survey of our newly identified Flynn target for our rare earths, and we'll be doing gravity. So we do expect over the next couple of weeks for some news to be going out regarding future steps from the company and the work that we're going to be doing. So in terms of, there's a question here, would an additional raise be required for further exploration, and how long will our current funds last? We've got a runway till roughly the end of March, April, with our current burn rates, and that's quite aggressive exploration. But given where the company is right now and the opportunity, that there will potentially be an opportunity for a raise in the near future, based off the work that we're doing and the results that we are getting. And what can investors expect in 2026? I think it's very clear. We have a drill-ready uranium opportunity that is ready to go. There's no more work needed on that, and a discovery can only be made with the drill bit. So we'll definitely be drilling as soon as possible, and we're in the process of defining that drill program. In terms of the rare earths, we're going to continue building out and displaying the scalability and size of this rare earth system, and then move into potential future drilling in the later half of the second quarter of next year. So we will be ready. A question here, has there been any interest from companies in the area about your findings? Yeah, as we all aware in the industry, you sign NDAs. So there's been a lot of interest. We're very well connected in the mining industry here. We're very well seated in the Chamber of Mines, and we've had a lot of discussions with various active groups here, from private operators all the way through to publicly listed groups. So yes, it has. But our focus is firm to create value for our shareholders and stakeholders at the steepest curve. So, I think the company is moving forward in that. There's a question here regarding our permitting. Are all the permits in hand and we're not waiting for anything from the government or from any regulators? Yes, all our permits are currently in good standing, as well as we have the EPLs, exclusive prospecting licenses. We have all the environmental clearance certificates, and our reporting, sorry, I forgot, I'm losing my words here, but all our reporting and all our statutory requirements are up to date. So our permits are in good standing, and we can move to drilling very quickly by submitting an intention to drill and get that processed easily. So there's no permitting out that we're waiting for or anything that would be delaying our project at this time. So I think we're starting to run into the half an hour time. Again, thank you to everyone. Okay, I've got one more question here. Why do you think the market has not appreciated the current findings and the potential for future development? And when would that change? The market is non-controllable. I think there's two things. We obviously went through a great rebranding, and the company has repositioned itself and is starting to create a lot of news and catalysts. And there are some investors that sell into good news. I think it's the market with it. And then we do expect that with more news, we have got quite a aggressive marketing campaign, and with more news that we're talking about this, getting the story in front of the right investors and the strong investors, that the share price will increase steadily during that time. Quick question here regarding discuss insider activity as per the SEDI filings. I'm not too sure right now off the top of my where I am sitting, but you're more than welcome to email me, and I'll have a look at those filings, and I'm sure I can answer them. But we've got strong insider support from management and strategic shareholders, and we continue to have that support and buy-in to what the company is doing. So I think it's a positive showing to our belief in the company and the opportunity that we've presented here. Again, thank you everyone for joining us and allowing me to walk you through the ReeXploration story, a story that we're really excited about with a lot of focus and a lot of technically driven milestones. And we look forward to doing a lot more of these engagements, as well as sharing a lot more information and updates with you, positive updates. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.